So, yep, I can explain what happened. I was on a little hiatus recently, but now I'm back and I'm ready to go. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do it. Um, but anyway, so this video will be about Hige with Soru. The remember the anime where you have this guy named Yoshida who takes in a high school runaway and essentially harbors her into his apartment. So since I've missed the last couple of weeks as far as reviewing it, like going over this in a video, I'm just going to combine the two episodes that I've seen last couple of weeks and just combine it into this video. So it'll be a 4 and 5 review. So let's go over the events of episode 4, right? So when you have it to where Yoshida and that coworker from his job, I always forget her name, but basically that coworker from his job, not the boss, but the other one, they were basically they met for the first time with Sayu, and then they were talking on the bench in that little scene in the actual park. Now, what led up to it was, as you know, I think Sayu was running away from the apartment mainly because she was, and really, this has been a recent theme of the entire series. Basically, she gets very insecure and just very fearful of being left behind. She knows that Yoshida is a very nice guy, and because he's a nice guy, a lot of ladies would like that. And obviously, we see that already, but with his job and everything, all he has to do is pick up it's not hard for him to pick up a girlfriend, so to speak, because you already see multiple women that like him. So, of course, Heidi. I'm going to get to her in a second because she, especially in episode 5, she's exactly what I thought she was going to be. And she did exactly what I thought she was going to do. She did it a lot sooner than I thought she would. Excuse me, but she already, well, again, I'll save that for another part of this video. The main thing that I really want to talk about is what keeps coming up is Sayu's past and how it keeps disturbing her. I think these has been especially these last couple episodes, have really been strong on the detail of her past. And some sick stuff has definitely been happening in her past because, we already saw that one scene where in the beginning she was getting fucked by some guy and she was just motionless and emotionless on the bed. And that just was a very disturbing scene. But that's a little bit of a hint of kind of what she's been through in her past. As she has said, she was very, she was always having to do something for these guys that would let her stay at their place. And, when she's obviously been out there, out there like that. At some point, I feel like that would come back as kind of like a trauma, and that's something that really gets me because, I think, that when you talk about Sayu and you talk about her past, it just looks really complicated and troublesome, and what we really have to focus on here is her trauma and her, I guess you could say PTSD, because her PTSD is it's becoming very prevalent, and it's getting her to react in a way that is a toxic to her body. It just it makes her throw up. It makes her not feel so well. As we saw in episode 5, with her having another flashback to her past, it looks like somebody it looked really weird. It looked like somebody was trying to like finger her or something like that. I don't know if I saw that wrong, but basically you had it to where it looks like she had some sort of friend in the past, but it looks like her friend betrayed her in some way. So again, there is a little bit of a hint to her past that seems to be dark and seems to be very troublesome. Um, but yeah, that's Sayu for right now. She's been she's been really cute lately too. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but like her smiles are becoming a lot more genuine. I remember Yoshida was definitely talking about that with her with his coworker about how she would how she would just have um, different smiles and how she would be just very just she just knows how to use different smiles. Actually, that was from episode 5. Episode 5 had it to where Sayu basically got her first job at this little convenience store, and she met I forget her name, but she met her coworker there, and she became her friend very quickly. And even her friend, which sometimes I don't like, when you get coworkers and people who, um, people who just they meddle into your life, like they want to be involved with your life, and they want you to basically they want to know everything about you, and they tend to follow you around. Like, they want to know where you live, they want to know what you eat, they want to know what you wear. Like, they just want to know everything about you. And I get about being friendly and all that, but I don't know, she was kind of annoying this episode, the new character that was introduced, because like she was just, I felt like she was too familiar for somebody who she just met. I can understand if she was like a childhood friend or something like that, but I don't know. I just felt like she was a little bit too newsy, meddlesome. Just that kind of person that just gets in people's businesses for no reason. Um, you know, but she does serve a purpose, and in that specific episode, and I'm jumping to episode 5. Um, she serves a purpose when it comes to the questions that, I mean, really we all have. And it's like, we know that Yoshida is a decent dude. We know that he's not going to probably do anything with Sayu. But that being said, like, you have to understand that with Yoshida, again, I've been saying this in the past reviews, he has to come to a decision to essentially, you know, not get too attached. Um, again, he already pretty much said to her, like, hey, when you're ready, leave, basically. And, Yoshida, like I said, I've been watching him and I've been watching what he's doing. Um, obviously with him, he's very committed to just being somebody who is a positive and decent person in Sayu's life, because that's what she needs right now. She needs that badly, in the worst way. With Sayu, she definitely has been through some shit. Like, it's obvious she's been through some stuff, and I think that with Sayu, she needs someone like Yoshida in her life, even though she shouldn't stay with him, obviously. But I mean, she needs someone like Yoshida. I mean, Yoshida's a very good person. She needs to be having someone like him in her life right about now. And so it's a good thing that she has someone like him. And speaking of Yoshida being popular with the women, guess who we had in this episode that came back around, and all of a sudden she likes him. And it's like, really? You like him now, Heidi? The supervisor at that job that he's working at? The boss? She basically confessed her feelings to him in this episode. And we're just sitting there like, really? Now you like him? He already confessed to you, so what's the big deal? You know. Um, so yeah, that's basically the main parts of this episode. ID, and I think Yoshida, by the way, had a good response to what she said because, I mean, Yoshida, he was like, "Well, why did you lie to me? Like, why did you say you had a boyfriend?" I was like, I had the same reaction. I'm like, "Oh, so now you care?" And Yoshida basically said everything I would have said to her because I would have been like, "Listen, like, you're not gonna just reject me and act like that didn't just happen." So I liked his response and I like what he said. He's basically like, "Listen, when you're ready and when you are able to, um, ask me out on a date." You know what I'm saying? Like when you're firm and when you're ready, ask me out on a date. And I like the way that he approached it. Because ID being a virgin and all that stuff, Yoshida didn't know that, but obviously he found that out and it changed his reaction pretty quickly. I like that whole entire scene anyway. I thought it was pretty funny. But at the same time, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, we also know that ID is supposed to meet up with Sayu and get to know her in the next episode. So that'll be interesting to see. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts were about this episode. Please comment down below, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And this has been Anime Rev 578. I will see you in the next video.